Hi there! This video is a recording of a live webinar, so you may hear references to live questions or features as they appeared at the time. With that in mind, let's dive in.
So the first thing I'll go through is just kind of the overview of the main kind of differences that the Pro system has. So anyone who's on the advanced will know that obviously you've got the tablet function for your technicians, where you're able to obviously carry out jobs, add check sheets, and the technicians can obviously carry out the check sheets for the customers to see, and also have the videos and the photos on the technician side, which is obviously a great element to it. But what you're not really able to do from there is anything more in terms of like the efficiency and kind of tracking what your technicians are doing, and maybe at the end of the month, if you want a report on kind of their attendance, their efficiency, exactly what they were doing kind of throughout the day. The Pro level of the system does have that, which I'll obviously go into in a bit more detail. What we're also able to do with the Pro system is add your web bookings on. Now, this is an additional cost sometimes for lower level systems. So I know some lower level systems do have the web bookings, so you might actually have the web bookings even if you're on a lower level system, because it can be a paid add-on. But obviously it comes with the Pro system, so that payment would kind of be mitigated if you're already using it. And what you're able to do from there is like put a link in your website, kind of a hyperlink, or a link to, like, say, kind of like book now, and it would take you to our web bookings page, where you can list 1 or 50 items on there that people can like add to baskets, and then obviously book in with you. And what you can do, you can mirror it to your calendar as well. So like, say if you have 2 MOT bays, it will mean you can only book 2 MOTs in. So if 2 MOTs already booked and someone goes to book it in for like Tuesday at 10, say 2 MOTs are booked in, if someone then goes to book it at Tuesday at 10, the calendar will block it out for you. So it does marry up with the calendar on the web bookings side. As I say, I'll go through that in a bit more detail as we go through as well. You've also got the telephone integration and the car sales module on the Pro system as well. So the telephone integration, as I said, we'll go into more detail, but basically if a customer is on your system, and this part is really, really good for kind of efficiency for you guys, because if a customer is in your system and they phone you, the call will pop up and it will have their details on, so you can go straight to them as a customer. So if you answer the phone and you click on them as a customer at the same time, you'll be able to answer them by name. So it's already nice, that customer has kind of a bit of a homely feel, because you've already called them by their name before they've even said anything. But also you'll have their vehicle up straight away. So if you want to say, do you want to book your Range Rover in, what do you want to book it in for, and stuff like that. But also you can literally hit new job on it straight away. So instead of asking for them for their details, and if they've been in with you 5 times and you ask for their details again, you'll see they've got a list of jobs. If you had the telephone integration, it would mitigate all of that on there. And then the car sales, obviously I don't know how many of you do car sales as well as the workshop side, but we do have a car sale. So if I hit dashboard, in the top left hand corner here, you can see where it says car sales, and that's basically you're able to put your all your car sales through. What you can also do, and as I say, I'll go through this in a bit more detail, this is just a bit of an overview of the 4 main features of the Pro system, on top of all of the advanced and light stuff as well. The car sales, you can add like jobs from the workshop side, you can add that to a car sales order form as well, so you can link both together on there as well. The good thing is with this as well, is I know this is quite self-explanatory, but just to say it, just so it's ironed out, anything that is on the Pro is also, sorry, I should say anything on the light is also on the advanced and the Pro, and anything on the advanced is also on the Pro. So with the Pro, you don't like lose anything that was once on the advanced or light, you just gain stuff. So anything that you liked on the light or the advanced, you would still have on the Pro, you would just get some additional features on there with the price increase that you'd have on there. So obviously that's just an overview of what the Pro is. I'll now just go into a bit more detail on those main 4 points that the Pro can give you. Now, obviously I'm saying main 4, but like especially with the technician efficiency and the web bookings tool, they're so vast and they can give you such good features in there. Like with the web bookings, it can take or can mitigate a lot of time taken with you guys on the phone, and also you guys looking through a calendar with it all linked up. The calendar will know whether a job can be booked on that date or not. And similar with the technician efficiency, which I'll go into now. So you've got the tech view for anyone who's got the advanced, and then you've also now got the terminal. Now there's actually two ways that this can be used, and there's no wrong way. Some garages use it one, some garages use it the other. Now we designed it actually to be used as kind of a central hub in the workshop. So every technician would go to that hub. The terminal like URL would already be in there, so they just need to put their technician ID and their PIN in. Which for anyone who uses the tech view, it's literally the same PIN, so they don't need to remember lots of PINs. It's literally the same one. Now I did create a job earlier for technician 02, so we'll put the PIN in there, the ID in there, sorry, and then they haven't got a PIN, so I'll just hit log in. And any technician can come here, and if it's a touch screen or if it's like a keyboard, they can literally type the login number in and it will bring them to this. Now the first thing that they would do is they would on here hit check-in, and that's basically checking in for the day. You're clocking in. So not just is this like an efficiency platform where you can see exactly what jobs they're doing and how long they're taking on jobs, it can be a clock-in platform as well. So if anyone's late or anything, you can see on the report at the end of the week or the month that someone was late, or vice versa. And this is the much better option, is that they were early and obviously putting in the graph, putting in the work. And I don't know if any of you guys have like bonus schemes or overtime schemes at all. Like some garages do, some don't. But if you do, this system, the terminal, can be pivotal in that, because there's no kind of grey area, apart from the first couple of weeks where technicians might forget to hit checkout or check in or whatever. But once they're in the swing of things, there's no grey area of what they actually did. So what we would do, we'd hit check in here, and it'll say like, good afternoon, please save your state. So you have a list of jobs up here in the job section, and the only jobs that will appear here, so I added this one for May. The only jobs that will appear here are any overdue jobs for this technician. That will be any jobs due in for today or previously that were not like finished for whatever reason. So if I hit select on here, it selected the job number, and all you then need to do is select the state that is going to be in, which usually would be work in progress on here. So we'll hit work in progress, and then you can hit save state. Straight away, that now logs you out of the terminal, so you can go on to TechView and carry out the work. Now, you don't need to be logged out of terminal to check into TechView. I appreciate that's kind of how I made it sound. It's more that as soon as you've hit save state, it logs you out because there's nothing else you need to do in terminal. You just get on with the work in TechView there. Now, with you having the central hub, when it logs you out, it literally will then just allow the next technician to log in. If you have it on the tablet, so like you can see here, I've got two windows on here, two tabs. If you have it on the tablet, you would just save both tabs, so you can literally flick between the two. Again, it will still log you out of terminal once you've saved the state on the tablet, but that's just how it's designed to do on there. And then basically what you can do when you've like finished the job, or if the job's on hold, you can hit just log back in again, hit login, and then you have got the on hold or work complete function. But what you can also do in here is add loads of different states. So I appreciate we've pretty much got everything covered, but if you wanted to be more specific, like service in progress, MOT in progress, if you want to put like authorized appointment or authorized absence in here, you can do that as well. But a really good thing about this side of it as well is that it mirrors the dashboard. So at the moment, this job is in work in progress. So what you can see is Technician 2 on the right hand side. You can see the green beacon and has been work in progress for 1 minute and 28 seconds. Feel free to ignore the other two, because obviously this is a testing site, so they obviously haven't actually been working for 70 days straight, but we just haven't actually logged off on that TechView on the terminal when actually testing. But Tech 2 has been left so that we can use it for this webinar. So it says that they've been on there for 1 minute and 28 seconds. That time does update sporadically about every couple of minutes. And you can see that they're live with the green beacon here with the job number and the registration, and also it says work in progress here. Now you can see that one says MOT in progress. If someone's on lunch, it would say lunch. If someone's on tea break, it would say tea break, and so on and so forth. But another really great thing in work in progress at the moment, you can see that this Ford Fiesta that we've put in work in progress is there, and we never even put it there. We didn't move it manually. The technician logging onto it in the terminal is what put it in here in work in progress. Now, if I was to put this job on hold in the terminal, so I've just put it on hold like that. I will obviously just have to quickly refresh this page. But now it would come up that is in on hold, and it would come up on the right hand side as well that technician put it on hold. So with just the click of a button on the technician side, the terminal side, they're also able to dictate where those bits go. Now, I appreciate our demo system does look a little bit messy just with the testing, but what this enables you guys on the front of house desk to do is really see exactly where jobs are at what point in the system. Because basically what you've got on here, it was in work in progress, it's now in on hold. The technician has done it, so you don't really need to do it on there. But another great thing is, with it obviously being on the right hand side, like the live feeds, and if they're not live feeding on a job, you've got it on lunch and break and stuff like that. You can see exactly where a technician is at what point. So basically what you're able to see in effect, and I appreciate in situ, this isn't always going to want to be the case, and sometimes you're not going to want to be this to be the case, because you're just going to maybe want to go in the workshop and just check on everything. But in theory, you could see the whole going ons of the workshop just from this section on here. So that's a real good benefit of it too. So that's basically the terminal side. There is a Q&A, guys, by the way, if any of you have any questions on any parts of it. So what that also does, though, is so if I go into reports and then personnel reports, what you're able to do is hit the attendance, efficiency, or state records report. Now, if you just want to see when people clocked in and like how long they were working, you would hit the attendance report. You can do it for all personnel or just one, so I'll just do it for technician 2 for like the last couple of days. And it will say I checked in on Friday at 11 minutes past 2. Total time attended at the moment was 5 minutes and 52 seconds. Obviously, if I was to then check out, that would then show a checked out time as well. And then you have also got in reports, just actually go back on there. You've got the state records report and efficiency report. So again, state records, similar to the attendance report, but it's just a lot more detail. Because if I was to generate this report, instead of saying I clocked in at this time and clocked out at this time, it would show exactly what time you were doing each state, if that makes, I don't know if I explained that correctly, sorry. So anytime that you hit the state, so whether that was work in progress or lunch or whatever, it would show each individual state what time that was ticked. So you can see exactly your technician's day. So if it's on a job, it will give the job number, and you can see exactly how long they were on there for, and also, and again, I don't know if you guys would really matter to you on this, but you can see the profit. I don't know, I was putting there with a pen because you can't see where the pen was. On here, where my mouse is, you can see the net profit and the gross profit, the net sales, sorry, and the gross and the net profit on here, of how much what they were working on made you as a garage as well. So if there is any bonus scheme or stuff like that, then that is a way to find it as well on there. Now that's the terminal side. It really helps the efficiency on here, but also what it helps is you guys seeing the ongoing progress of any job, and also the live feed of what every technician is doing on the system, but also the clock in and clock in outside as well. Some garages do have their own clock in and clock in out system at the garage. this is another thing. I'm like, TechMan obviously was designed that you have everything in one. Some clock in and clocking out systems are different to like you'd have it as an add-on to TechMan. Effectively, you could get rid of that because you've now got the Pro system with the terminal that is a clock in and clocking out system. So again, it does help you guys as a garage that's potentially one less subscription you have to pay for, because now it's, you know, on your TechMan system, effectively on there. So that's the terminal side, and that's the benefit that side can give you, which is obviously all done by the technicians. But honestly, I mean, I will give like an anecdote. I obviously won't say the garage, but I had a technician that was training online, and on the video chat, he was so anti it. It was unreal. It was like, this can take too much time, blah blah blah. 2 weeks later, me and our other trainer, we went on site to do some training, and he didn't know who we were, and literally he came behind us with the big screen, click click click, checked in, logged in, click click click, checked in, and went away. That took him about 8 to 10 seconds. So from 2 weeks of being so anti it, within 2 weeks he was able to do that, clock on, find the job, clock on, check into the state, and then obviously that logged him out straight away and he was on his pad. That took about 8 seconds, and he was so confident at it. He didn't know that we were TechMan, and he was so confident at it. So even if like your technicians you think might be anti this now, I promise you 95% are so on board with it even within the first week, because it is a lot easier than I think it can seem in theory. In practice, it is actually a lot easier, I can assure you. So the next thing is the web bookings tool. Now, I know I did actually a webinar going kind of fully into web bookings and stuff. I'm doing settings and then labor slots. You can set all of your web booking kind of slots up. So what this does, you're able to like put a book online hyperlink onto your website. Someone can click that. So if I was to click that here, it would set the web link, hit book online, and because I've already put my reg in here earlier, that's why it's come up straight away. And what you're able to do, you're able to obviously this would have your actual garage logo and name on, but you're able to categorize it into categories, and then put the price in if there was an offer, or if there's an offer, so it was certain price and now is another. You can also price it up like that. Now you can make this as personalized as you want or as general as you want, but the really good thing about this is that it does marry up with your actual calendar, which I think is the main thing that a few people do get a bit or just question. Obviously you want to make sure that it's going to be correct. So in here I've got the MOT class 4 web booking slot up. So that is mapped to the MOT 4 labor unit on here. So on there it's bringing through the correct price, unless obviously you put an offer on. And then down here, there are all the slots that you can book in. But if you wanted, for example, to put times in here like 9 o'clock, or say if you wanted everyone to arrive at 9 for the MOTs in the morning, what you could do, you could put like a slot, you could put quantity of 4 and then just put 9 o'clock on there. So you can have 4 people booking for 9, but it actually would be 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, and then 12 to 1, so that you can do it like that as well. You don't have to do specific times. We always recommend doing specific times, but you don't necessarily have to on there, because if you wanted to do everyone book in at 9, you can have multiple slots at that 9 on there. So what you can then do is on categories here, you can categorize it into whichever slot you want. So, I think I've just gone off of it, but basically what you'll have seen is that it was under MOT and then under servicing on there. So with that, we've selected MOT, so it will be under the MOT. Now, the really good thing about this one is where you can have the related labor units. So basically, you've got MOT class 4, 5, and 7 on here. Now, if you're like us at the garage, and the MOT bays will be the same, so like MOT 4 and 7 done on the same bay, if an MOT class 7 is booked at Tuesday at 10, obviously you don't want an MOT class 4 also being able to book at 10. Admittedly, they're different labour slots, so technically that could happen, but for the logistics of the garage, that obviously won't work for you. So you have the related labour units here, where you can relate a labour unit together. So basically, if a Class 7 is booked out at 10 o'clock on Tuesday, because the MOT4 is ticked, when someone goes to book in an MOT4, the 10 o'clock on Tuesday option will not be there because it's a related labour unit on there. So that's how that all marries up, and it is a very, very good function on there because it's basically a live feed from your calendar. I've had no questions, by the way. I don't know if there are any questions. Obviously, we've got we'll probably run over actually slightly, so we've got a bit more than 5 minutes. But if there is any questions, please put them in the Q&A box. Because as I say, it's a 90-day free trial, so it will be free for you to see if you would like to go ahead with this level of system for your garage and see if it would be beneficial. So obviously there's nothing you can really lose on a free trial. You can give it a go. If it doesn't work, that's absolutely fine. If it does work, then brilliant. So if there are any questions and you want to make sure it's right for you, then please ask away. Ask away on there. They have to so I think this is just a question about the web bookings time slots, but do they have to choose a specific slot on a day? So for web bookings, there isn't like a PM or an AM slot in terms of like titles, but what you can do with what I've said on there, you can do like a 9 o'clock and you can have like 5 slots available, and then 1 o'clock and then another 5. So as much as it's not called AM and PM, the 9 o'clock would obviously be the AM, and then the 1 o'clock would be the PM one. So that's how you can do that. Instead of having like individual ones, you could have 5 slots at 9 o'clock, if that makes sense, on there. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. And Josh, yeah, so I was actually just about to go through the telephone integration. That's great. So yeah, what you would have on the telephone integration, we would send you a form that you would just have to fill out to make sure it's kind of like compatible for you on there, which most phone systems are. And then what would happen? I don't know how some of you guys might have landlines, some of you guys might have it on your like screen. So in the bottom, what we have is on the bottom right, we have WebEx, and it will come through on our screen, and it will say occasionally it will say for us who the customer is because they're saved on our WebEx system. If it's through TechMan, it will be a lot more of a churn of customers in terms of who will have names because you'll have them saved on there. And what we'll have, you'll have the usually pop up on the bottom right hand corner. It will say the name of the customer and any details that there might come up. So I think it'll be like their reg and maybe their actual phone number as well. So when you answer it, you will be able to already open up their customer details, and obviously in the customer details you can also create a new job as well. So it makes it more personal because obviously you can see who's calling in straight away, so you can answer them by their first name. Already that customer rapport is then there and building up, and then the speed of how you can actually book that job will also be quicker, because instead of having to type their reg in and then hit look up on the job, and also instead of typing their as well as typing their reg in, you'll have to ask for their reg. Instead of that, you can literally bring it up because it's just come up on the phone. And again, a bit more for customer satisfaction and customer rapport, you can maybe, name drop the reg, or at least the make and model of vehicle. So again, they're kind of thinking you remember them, even though it's maybe only come up on an integration. You may not ever remember them actually being there before, because they're already on there. You can obviously build enhance that customer rapport there. So that's the main function of the telephone integration. It does make things, we've realized, because obviously got one garage literally below me here and then another about 15-minute drive away. In both garages, we've realized that does, one, help speed a little bit, but two, customers seem a little bit happier on the phone on there. So hopefully that answers your question, Josh. Please let me know if it hasn't. And Katia, if you've got any other questions on the web bookings as well, please let me know on there. But that's the main function of the phone integration. As I said, I will go a little bit over half two, because I appreciate it's about 28 minutes past now. If anyone has got any more questions, please let me know. The last main bit, to be fair, is the car sales module. So with car sales, you can, so with this plus button here, you can add a car to put for sale, and you'll be able to put like where you got the car from, and there's like loads of different options that you can also add to yourself as well, how much it costs you and then how much you want to sell it for. But what you can also do, you can add jobs that you're doing on the car, and you can add that to a cost of the actual car when you sell it. So unlike the cars for sale, if I just go onto one of these stock codes, if you see up here in the top, well, it's kind of top center actually, you can add a cost. You can also add an order form. So an order form will be the customer ordering it for you, and then adding a cost will be basically if you've got a job that you've built in the workshop side of it, you can then add a cost of that job in the workshop side to the car sales side. So they just link up on there, as well as you said, you can hit the generate invoice button, and then that will obviously you can sell it as normal like you do with other jobs as well. With car sales, and like with web bookings, to be fair, you can have a full-on training session on there, because there's a lot in car sales. It's very difficult to kind of even in a half-an-hour webinar be a bit pushed to maybe cover everything on there. So I appreciate on this webinar, I know I'm not covering every single thing in car sales, but if you do have a car sales side of your business, we do have a lot of customers, and we're building the car sales side kind of and enhance, I'd say building it, it is built, but in enhancing it as we speak as well. So if you do have a car sales side, this could be very imperative for you as well.
Thanks for watching. For more TechMan webinars, updates, and training content, don't forget to subscribe and explore our other videos. See you next time.